Everybody, today we're going to go over a body weight workout. We're going to start with some stretching. If you want to warm up with some foam rolling before that, you can go ahead and do that before you start. We're going to start in the 90-90 position. Okay, if you're not able to complete the 90-90 position, you can just cross your legs, reach forward, or you can go into the figure 4 position on each side. So the 90-90 position, both knees are at 90 degrees, and your hips will make a 90-degree angle, creating like a box in the front and then like a box in the back. Your front foot and back knee and back foot should all be on the same line. Dorsiflexor, the ankles are tucked forward, so we don't want them pushed down. We want to tuck forward, and then from here we're going to look straight ahead, have really wide hands on the ground, and breathe and hold here. We want to straight back. We want to go into a deep stretch, so about a 6 or 7 on a stretch tolerance scale. So if 10 would be like really hurting, and then 9 would be getting close to hurting, 8 would be a little bit too hard, 7 is probably where we want it. So finding that 7 or 6 position, and then focusing on your inhales through your nose, exhales through your mouth. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8 if you can, and try to exhale with pierced lips out through the mouth. We're going to go ahead and then rotate our shoulders toward the back foot and push our hands into the ground behind us. As we do that, we should feel a capsular stretch in our hip, which is basically meaning that we're going to feel the hip joint itself in this stretch, because we are essentially have a closed chain stretching exercise here, where our hip is stable, and then I'm internally and externally rotating my femur in and out of that hip socket. And then I'm going to switch side. Look straight ahead, find your deep 90-90 stretch. Make sure that your back is straight, chest is up, hinging forward, not curling the spine here. Breathe, inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Try to exhale double the amount as your inhales. And from here, rotate the shoulders back, push the hands into the ground. You can rock in and out of this position, or you can rotate as far as you can and hold. And you can also advance this stretch by reaching toward the foot and knee. Okay, but try to keep that front knee on the ground. If that comes up off the ground, you might have to bring those hands back. Okay, now we're going to get the adductors. If you have a pad for your knee, it's recommended. So we're going to put one knee on the pad, the other knee out on the floor, and we want that back and chest up. And then we're going to abduct this leg that doesn't have the pad on it. First, we might rock into this position, and this is a regression for both of these stretches. So first one I'm going to get is my right. It's probably going to be your left. And then I'm going to rock back into this position. Okay. And then I can have my back toe tucked if I can, or if I need to point it, you can point it, either or, whatever works best for you. And then I'm going to switch side. So about 5 to 8 rocks. Make sure that knee is on a pad for support. Pointed toes. And then abduct. Make sure you have enough room here. And then rock in and out of that. To advance this, you can bring the toe up toward the sky. But you're trying to get that outer edge of the foot on the ground if you can. At least not like this. And from here, move out of that after 5 to 8 rocks. Now we're going to get the downward dog position. So we'll start in the hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees and feet lined with the hips, and then we're going to drive the hands into the ground as we lift the knees off the ground. Extend the knees and try to get the hips up high and back straight. Head through the shoulders. The more you push into the ground, the more you might feel it in your calves and in your shoulders. Try not to jet the head forward too much. Shake the head yes and no here. And then come back down. From here, we're just going to glide the hand across with the thumb up. Bring the forehead down and then switch. From here, we're going to tuck the toes, rock on those heels, and then go into a cat position. So we're going to arch the back, look up, and then round the back, look down. Arch the back, look up as you sit down. Exhale, round the back. Good. From here, you can stretch out those wrists by pointing those fingers toward your body. You can lean forward and back. Good. And then from here, we're going to focus on our quads. So we're going to put one foot on top of a barrier. So it could be a box, or it could be the wall. It could be a couch. And then from here, what we'll do is try to sit upright, get the heel toward the glute. If you feel like you're leaning back too much, you don't feel that stretch as much in the quad, you do want to have a straight spine from here to the knee. And then from here, you should feel that stretch in the hip flexor as well. And then I'm holding and breathing here. Inhale and exhale. And about 3 to 5 inhales and exhales here. Okay, and then from that stretch, I'm going to go into a thoracic rotation stretch. So I'm going to widen my feet as wide as possible. Hands are down on the ground. And then from here, I'm going to wrap my hand across my chest, look up, breathe and hold. 3 exhales in this position. And then I'm going to bring my hand behind the head for 3 more inhales and exhales, and then switch. First grab across, and reach behind, and then hands back down and stand back up. All right, now we're going to get into some motor control exercises. So we can go on the floor, we can bend the knees, make a W with the arms, and then we're going to slide the arms over the head on an exhale. We're going to keep our back flat here and keep our head down on the ground. Hands on the ground, wrists, elbows, forearms, and shoulders if possible on the ground. And then exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down, try not to let the rib cage flare out. Keep the back flat as you exhale, over arms overhead. Inhale down, exhale up. So about 5 to 8 reps there. Then from here, we're going to bring those knees over the hips and make a 90-degree angle with the ankles and knees, arms in front of the chest. From here, I'm going to extend my right leg so it's hovering off the ground, and then slight inhale on the way up, and then I'm going to alternate. I'm going to try to exhale as I extend, and then by the time I'm done exhaling, I'm going to switch. From here, I'm going to bend my knees, extend my hips, Squeezing my glutes, contracting my glutes here, and then bring it down. This time toes up, press the heels into the ground, squeeze the glutes and hold 10 seconds, and focus on some long, hard exhales. And then come back down. One more. Now we're going to try one-legged. So pull that up to the chest. Then from here, with the opposite arm, we're going to push the hand into the knee. Then we're going to squeeze that opposite glute so that we're in that hip extension on one leg. We're going to hold 5 seconds. And come back down. Up one more time. And back down. Switching side. Come back down. Up. And down. And just relax it by holding onto those knees, circling it around. From here, we're going to move to the hands and knees position and focus on a contralateral reach. But first, we're going to just extend the hip toward the sky and then come back down. Almost like you're pressing the bottom of your foot into the ceiling, and we're going to hold and come back down. One more. Up and down. Switch. One more. And come back down. From here, let's go ahead and move to standing. We'll get into some dynamic stretches. We're going to start with the split squat. One back knee on the pad, up and down like an elevator. You're going to tap and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. Stay on the back toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From a knee dominant position, we'll go hip dominant. Single leg reach. Trying to get parallel with the ground. Trying to keep that bottom leg straight. Reaching forward. Then switch. Reaching with the opposite. So my right leg is down. I'm reaching with my left arm. And I can tee out my opposite arm for balance. And then I'm going to move to my lateral squat. Really wide feet. And then from here, I'm going to shift into one hip. Keep one knee straight, one knee bends. Hence, this is why it is a knee dominant exercise. And then switch. Only 3 reps here. Keep the back straight as you reach forward. Good. Inchworm, toe touch. Walk the hands out to a push-up. Walk the hands out in front of the head. Step 1 foot at a time with your knees straight toward your hands. Back to that starting position. And repeat. We'll just do 2 reps there. From here, we'll just go to a push-up position. And we'll go push-up to downward dog. So back is straight, head in line with the shoulder, hips, and heels. Just making a straight line as you go down. Elbows at a 45-degree angle, not too close, not too wide, about in between. Hands or thumbs at about nipple height on the chest. Try to keep the chin tucked like you're being measured. just 3. And from here, if your wrists are hurting, that's not a good sign, okay? So you may have to lay off a lot of things on the hands and knees, especially this thing, what we're gonna do next. So that's gonna be the bear crawl. Hands and knees, opposite knee, opposite hand will move as you go forward and back. Or we're gonna do that either 6 points, hands, knees, and feet, or 4 points with the knees off the ground, an inch. So we're gonna move forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, then backward, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so up, knee to elbow, walk forward, 2, 3, 4, and then backward, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then come back down. All right, you may feel that in your wrists. If you feel it lightly, that's good. It's not a big deal, you should. But if it really hurts your wrists, then you know you got some wrist issues. Now we're going to get into our dynamic stretching, ballistic stretching. We're going to start with a knee pull. So I'm going to step forward with my left foot, pull my right knee, and as I do that, I'm pointing my bottom toe into the ground and I'm extending that hip. So I should feel a hip flexor stretch, calf activation on one side, and then on one side, I'm getting a passive hip flexion stretch, okay? Because we're eventually going to go into active hip flexion. So we're prerequisite for active hip flexion would be passive, okay? And then we're also getting some activation patterns on the opposite leg. So setting up for our march and our skip. The top toe tucked up. Again, try to keep your chest up, back straight. Don't let your body curl down and forward. From here, leg cradle. So we're gonna wrap the hand around the knee and then the ankle, pull toward chest. Step, knee, ankle, back straight. Feeling that in the hip rotator. Okay. Now we're going to go with some marching steps, driving that foot into the ground, and then opposite arm, you can close the fists, and then trying to get those knees up past the hips. Okay. From here, we're going to do heel to butt, forward lean, heel to butt, forward lean. So quad stretch, and then an active hamstring stretch, okay? Then we're gonna go to our march again, and we're gonna turn that into high knees, and we're gonna go fast as we move forward. Okay, after high knees, we're going to skip. So from march to skip, if you can't skip, just focus on high knees. Step and a hop on one foot. Get that knee up. Okay, now we're gonna move through some lateral patterns, starting with just a side step. Hips slightly behind the heels, but not too far back. Knees slightly bent, but not too bent. Okay, body shifts forward, but not too forward. And we're going side to side. Pushing off the hip, that's trailing the front foot. The front foot is the foot that we're following. With the back foot, and the back hip is what's driving the movement side to side. And keeping those feet at least shoulder width apart the whole time. Then we're going to turn that into dynamic lateral shuffle, trying to keep your feet forward. All right, moving into our karaoke pattern. We're moving to the right, cross in front with the left, and then cross behind with the left when we're moving to the right. When we're moving to the left, it's cross in front with the right and behind with the right. So we're moving right, the left foot's doing the crossing. We're moving left, The right foot's doing the crossing. Okay. Now we're going to go into scissor pattern, 1 foot forward, opposite arm forward, bend elbow to the chin, and then switch. And then we're going to go all the way down, side, and then back. Move those arms fast. Good. Okay. There's your lateral patterns. Another one is our lateral bound from one leg to the next. Trying to make a rainbow with the legs. Trying to stick the landing. All right. We're warmed up. Grab some water or a drink. Anything you need. You got 1 minute off. I got to turn this heater off. Let me get some water. I'll be back. All right. So for this video and this workout, we're going to perform 3, 6, 9, 12 exercises. Okay. In each triset, we're going to have a lower body, an upper body, and a core exercise. Okay. We're going to hit 4 of each. So that's going to total 12 exercises. We're going to do this in a circuit style. If you want to repeat, you can by just replaying the workout, or you can just do one set like I'm going to do. Okay. All right. Looks like it's not going to happen because I got to